So I got a new card game. It's called Go F Yourself. But here's my problem when it comes to new card games. I always lose cards because the boxes, these little paper things here, they get destroyed. They never last. And being someone who 3D prints, there's got to be a solution for that, right? Right? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a box. Well, we're going to customize a box. I'm going to steal a box from Maker World, but we're going to customize a box with this logo on it. And I'm going to show you how I do it. All right, my videos are a little bit longer. I like to take you from start to finish. That means from concept to finished product. If you don't have time, click the bookmark button. I will not judge. But if you can stick around for the entire thing, I appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, follow, all of the things over here. It really helps. I appreciate you. But let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need to do is either take a picture of this, put it on your computer, or go do a Google search and find it. For me, I'm going to jump into Adobe Illustrator. Apparently Inkscape is a great free option. I have not used Inkscape yet, so I don't know how to use it. So I'm going to refer back to Adobe Illustrator, but for right now, that's what we're going to go with. All right, so here's the image grab that I got from the box. I'm going to load up a brand new Adobe Illustrator page, and I'm going to drag and drop that image right onto it. All right, so the image is kind of small, so we are going to resize it. I'm just going to drag it from the edge, make it a, I don't know, that looks good to me. Select it. And then again, at the top right up here, we're going to hit image trace. Now I want you to see how quick this is. Image trace, boom, there it is. And then we're going to hit the exact same button that just got replaced. Now it says expand. Awesome. Now making sure that we select this right here, which is the direct selection tool, we're going to select all of the area behind all the white area, and we're going to remove those. So for instance, I'm going to click here and imagine that that's a real white space. And even though it's the color white, it still would actually put negative or a positive space there. I need this to be negative space. I don't want there to be anything there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to do the same thing inside of each letter. So all I got to do is click in the open space of each letter and hit the delete key. And I'm going to go through and do all of that on each one of these letters. Now I can't forget to get these little spaces in between right here. So I'm just going to click on these and delete these as well. So anything that essentially is that white open space I need to remove. And again, there's going to be some little small areas like in between the K and the F right here. I want to make sure that I delete these as well. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and drag a box around this, making sure it's all selected. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to Export and Export As, and I'm going to export this as an SVG file, and I'm just going to name this Go F Self so I can find it in my Downloads folder and export. Now onto Maker World. I just typed in card box into the search, and you can see there's all kinds of different boxes that people have already made. So I don't need to go in and redesign anything. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. A box is a box. And here we have a basic box that will work absolutely perfectly for what my needs are. All right, so our first step is going to drag and drop the file that we created into the build plate, and you can see there it is. And it's going to just kind of sit right on the surface, and we're going to resize this and get it right where we want it to be on the lid. But we need to also make sure that we rotate it and flip it so that it reads correctly. So the first thing we're going to do is just resize. So we're going to come over here to the scale button, and we're going to click that, and we're just going to scale this down a little bit so it can fit inside the lid. In fact, while we're doing this, let's just move that lid right out of the way so we can work with just this image. So now that we've moved that out of the way, we can work with just the actual image itself. I'm going to go ahead and right click on the image, and I'm going to change the filament to white so that it will stand out. But we also need to flip this around so that it's going to read properly on the front here. So we're going to go ahead and use the rotate tool, and we're just going to grab the blue bar here, and we're going to move inside here. And you can see if you're inside this little line here, it'll snap to these inner lines. If I'm out here, you'll see it moves a little bit more freely. So I just want this to snap, so now it's perfect. Now I said it's perfect, but it's perfect as in where it's centered. It is not perfect because it's still going to read backwards. So we still need to use that rotate button, and we basically need to rotate this using the red so that it reads correctly when you are printing it on the lid. So if I was to look at this face on now, you're going to see it's going to actually read correctly. Now this next step is very important. I want you to go and find the first layer filament sequence. If you don't know where that is, it's very simple. Simply come back up to the front of your build plate here, and you're going to click this little guy right here and this little cog, and then down here you're going to click under first layer filament sequence. You're going to move this so that the white comes first. So I want the white to print first, And I want that to be the same way on both the first layer and the other layer filament sequence. Okay, so now that I have all that on there, if I kind of flip this over and I click the slice button, you'll see that the logo now is embedded in the top of the lid. Now let's go ahead and get it on the printer. This is gonna take about 2 hours and 3 minutes. And you know what? I've actually got this brick filament that I'm gonna use, and I'll just use white and we'll see how it turns out. And as always, I never do a part 2, so stay tuned, here we go. Welcome back after 2 hours, and let's take a look and see what the final product looks like. Now, I'm sorry to say I already took it off the printer, so I'm sorry. But here it is. Here's our storage box, and you can see the logo right there. And this opens up, and now my cards, instead of having to be in this little cardboard thing, fits right inside here. Well, we learned a valuable lesson, people. Not all boxes are made equal. So even though this case looks great, those cards are very much in there, and they're stuck in there. Like, I got to peel these out, get a knife in there, and get these out. So we'll need to make this slightly larger for next time. But we learned something today, and that is the most important part of all of this. And since I'm going to reprint it anyway, I think I'm going to go more of the blue and the orange, so we'll change up the coloring just a little bit. All right, so the second version is done. Let's grab it off the build plate. And here it is, done. Now, the whole reason why it didn't work the last time, was apparently because the box was too small. So this was the first version, all right? So I changed it up a little bit. And here is the new version. So I tried to go with aesthetically kind of the same type of blue. So what do you guys think? And for the fit test, so cards fit in, closed up. Now I never have to worry about losing any of them, theoretically. So what did we learn in this video today? Well, we learned that all boxes aren't created equal. We also learned how to add a logo to the first layer of a print. And we also learned about a brand new game that's available in the TikTok shop. Pretty cool. As always, thank you very much for watching to the end. And as always, I appreciate you guys.